because you're the reason he's not showing you. It's not the haters, babe. It's not the haters. It's not the non-supporters. It's not. It's you. Hey y'all, hey, it's me, KaRena Lee, and I am back at it again with another video. If you're new to my channel, hi, my name is KaRena. If you're not new, welcome back. Thank you so much for supporting. In today's video, I am doing a chit chat. I want to talk to you guys about God. I want to talk to you guys about getting closer to Him. I want to talk to you guys about content creation a little bit and how you're holding yourself back. It's your fault you haven't grown. Yeah, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. But anyways, this is me from the future because I never did this intro because I actually did this video for my 25th birthday, but the video was way too long, so I ended up cutting all this. But I think it's really valuable information for somebody who may need it. So if this is something that you're interested in, definitely keep watching. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe as always. And thank you guys so much for your support. And let's get into it. Transformation Church is a church. I'm not really sure on the logistics. You should really look into that. But all I know is you can find it on YouTube for sure. And they have podcast version on Apple Podcasts. I'm sure it's on, Spotify and all that other stuff as well. But Apple Podcasts and YouTube for sure, you can find Transformation Church, okay? So one day I am doing something and I'm listening to Transformation Church, and it's Pastor Michael Todd who is preaching. And usually I hear Pastor Charles. I don't remember his last name, but usually that's who's preaching since I've started listening. But it was Michael Todd tonight, who I do know I have seen before, but I had never really heard him preach for real. Anyways, Michael Todd is doing a sermon, and he was talking about how he wasn't even supposed to be preaching yet. He had another week before he was supposed to preach, but he came and preached that night. And I want to share with y'all the notes that I wrote down. I wrote these notes down. I wrote the notes down and I hung them up on my wall because I really felt like this was something that I needed to remember all the time, something that I needed to look back at and understand. So the message was basically, this is what I got from it, okay? In order to launch in victory, you must. Then he started telling us all the things that we need to do in order to launch in victory. In order to launch. And he was making the reference of a rocket and all this stuff. I will link it down below for you. I'm going to link the sermon because I think that is important. I'm going to find it. I'm going to link it, okay? Anyways, in order to launch in victory, you must see in victory, right? He was talking about how you need to write down what you see for your life. And I put today in all caps because he was like, don't wait. Do it today. Do it now. And he was talking about how he had visions for Transformation Church before the visions had even, came to life, before that they had even worked themselves out. He had wrote down the things that he saw. You know what I mean? Stick with me. There's a reason for all of this, okay? He had wrote down the things that he saw. You know what I mean? He had wrote down the visions that he felt, the things that he wanted for the church and things of that nature. And he pulled it out and said that he always kept that paper with him. And he told us about how a lot of the stuff on the list had happened. You know what I mean? He had pulled it out during the sermon like, this is the paper that I had years ago. Years. It's been years since, I truly think he said like 13. But again, I'm going to link the sermon below. I had saw something once I was basically like, kind of like, where do you think you get your visions from? Your crazy ideas, the things that it's like, girl, what? Like, no, like, nobody's even doing that. Or maybe everybody's doing it, but you want to do it too, because you just feel so deeply in your heart that you can do it as well. You also feel like it's something that you could do, something that you want to do, something that you're passionate about, something that you love, blah, blah, blah. Your visions and ideas don't come from nowhere. They don't come from nowhere. They do not come from nowhere. Anyways, the second point, speak in victory. You cancel out what you see with what you say. Eliminate self-doubt. It can be true and not said. When he said that during the sermon, it really hit me. It can be the truth and not be said. He said life and death is in the tongue, and don't have a negative exaggeration. Walk into a new expectation. Okay, so I feel like you don't believe these things until you believe these things. You don't see these things until you see these things. You hear these things all the time. You hear these things all the time. Change your mindset. Watch what you say. Drink more water. Exercise. All these things, you hear them. You know that you should do them. You know they're good for you. You know to some extent, usually for the most part, that there are things that you should do. But still you don't do them. Because you're not allowing yourself, because you're not applying yourself, because whatever the reason may be, you're not doing it, right? We hear these things all of the time, and I'm really preaching to myself. I hear these things all of the time, but seriously, you block your blessings when you say, it's like, I wish I could pull it up so I could show you an example. But it's like, I'm unemployed right now. Things are never going to work out for me. But I really want a job. Or that interview went really well, but I don't think I'm going to get it. It can be true and not said. It can be true and not said. I really do want a job. Leave off the I don't think I'm going to get it. Don't say that. Don't say that. Stop negative self-talking. Oh, well, I'm probably not going to get it. Oh, well, I just don't feel like, oh, well, it's too, kill it. Kill all that. No. You need to train your mind. And TikTok is huge. Like, God talks to me. God will talk to you the way you receive the word from him. He will talk to you through the things that you do often. If you read often, God's going to talk to you through that. If you're on social media a lot, depending on if you really try to hear from God and talk to God, he will talk to you through social media. You have to redirect your thoughts. You have to redirect the way you think. So when you're about to say something negative or you're thinking something negative, think it and replace it with a positive thought. Think it, replace it. Think it, replace it. Think it, replace it. Quick. Be quick about it. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know if you need to be quick about it, but you need to be quick about it. Because you don't want to let the negative thoughts linger. Negative thoughts, that's how you bring yourself down. That's how you get weary. That's how you get discouraged, and that's how you feel like, oh, woe is me, nothing's ever gonna go as planned, That's your mindset. That is your mindset. Who said it wasn't gonna work out? Because the only person who actually has the plan is God, and you're too busy trying to do it yourself that you're not letting him do it. Don't have negative exaggerations. Walk into a new expectation. So it's like, as an overthinker, from an overthinker to an overthinker, I'm going to tell you right now, I know how your thoughts can eat you alive. Your thoughts can literally eat you, like terrifying. The way they just eat at you. Your thoughts can really just ruin your day, ruin your mood, ruin your aspirations, your goals, your thoughts, but it's you. What makes it harder is that it's you doubting you. You know what I mean? It's you having imposter syndrome. It's you feeling like you're not good enough. It's you feeling like your validation is in something that it's not in. It's you wanting other people's opinions to be more relevant than God's opinion. It's you who's holding you back. And that is a hard pill to swallow. It is you who is holding you back. So, with that being said, it's like, don't have negative exaggerations. It's like, we're always like, oh, well, what if this happens? Or what if that happens? Oh, well, I don't know, because I could run into this and then da-da-da-da. None of it has happened. All of these what ifs, none of it has happened. You have created every problem in your head and in your heart that you could think of, only for it to not, like, you're not facing that. You think you're gonna, I think he was doing like a bear analogy or something in the sermon, but either way, it's like you're worried about things happening that haven't happened. You're working yourself up over things that have not occurred. They haven't occurred. Oh, well, I don't know, because you won't start because of the what ifs of the in-betweens. The what ifs in betweens might not happen because you're what ifing. It's not a matter of if it happens, what will I do? It's a matter of starting. It's a matter of starting. Whatever it is you need to start, whatever it is you need to do, I would say, it's a matter of doing it, of starting it, of taking the action, of putting one foot in front of the other instead of letting your mind convince you that what you want and what you desire and what you need out of this life, you can't have. And with that being said, in order to launch in victory, the next thing you must do is stand in vigilance. Stand in vigilance. You must stand when it's hard. You must stand when it is hard. Adversity equals power. Adversity is power. That's what I wrote down. I'm just looking at the notes, y'all. I'm just looking at the notes. He said all your adversity isn't an enemy. You know what I mean? The things that are not working out for you, it's not always the devil. It is not always the devil. It is not always the enemy. It is not always, nothing ever goes my way. Oh, life is so hard. That's not always what it is. That's always your mindset. That's always your mindset on the matter. But that is not always what it is. A lot of times, the things that you are not getting, the things that you are not receiving, the things that are passing you are because God does not want that for you. Actually, I'm sorry. I misspoke. All of the time. All of the time. Anything meant for you will not pass you. Anything meant for you will not pass you. Even if it passes you and circle the block, it's not going to pass you to where you don't get it. Anything meant for you from God, anything God meant for you, not anything you meant for you, anything He meant for you will not pass you. Will not pass you. All your adversity isn't an enemy. Be consistent. If nobody likes it, still post. If nobody shows up, it's still teach. And I wrote that for myself because, you know, I want to be a content creator who's well known. I want to be a content creator where, I mean, of course, I'm always going to say, you know, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. But I want to know that when I'm saying that, y'all are already liking it. Y'all already blowing it up. Y'all already in the comments where, like, I want to build a community of people who are like me, who like me. I want to build a community of people who are like me, who like me. And I know that takes time. I know that takes consistency. Be consistent. Same thing with bottoms up body fitness. And it's easy to feel like, well, I don't really want to do it because, you know, I don't have a packed class, like nobody's coming, or only a few people are coming, or people are saying they're coming and they're not coming. It's easy to get discouraged. It's easy. It's easy. It's easy to get discouraged when things aren't going the way you would like them to go. It's so easy. So I wrote this down for myself. That if nobody likes my post, I'm still gonna post. Because, baby, I look good. And y'all are clearly asleep. Y'all are clearly asleep. Like, that's a personal problem, realistically. That's a personal problem. Why would I stop posting this heat? Because y'all asleep. I don't know, but I was tripping, confused. Anyways, same thing with if nobody shows up, I'm still going to teach the class. I'm still going to teach the class. I'm still going to have a good time. I'm still going to dance and still do fitness at the same time because, first of all, it is a real life workout. But also it's something I enjoy. It's something I love. And nothing in life that is worth it comes easy. Nothing in life that's worth it comes easy. So I'm going to have to be consistent. If nobody shows up for me, I'm going to show up for me. If nobody likes my post, I'm going to like my post because I took the time, I did the effort, and I'm not putting out just anything. I'm putting out things that I'm proud of, things that I love, things that I took the time to perfect. So if nobody shows up for me, I will show up for me because I am going to be consistent in the things that I want for my life. I'm preaching to myself. I'm looking dead in the camera, but baby, I'm talking to me. I'm talking to you too, but I'm talking to me. I said, if you're going to change atmospheres, you're going to face adversity. Well, he said that, but I wrote it down. If you're going to change atmospheres, you are going to face adversity. If you're going to switch up what you're used to, if you're going to switch up what you're usually doing, if you're going to move somewhere else, if you're going to get out of that relationship or start that relationship, if you're going to start that new job or quit that new job, if it's different, if your atmosphere is different, you will face adversity. You will face it because it is not the same situation. These are not the same circumstances. There are new things that you're going to encounter that you're going to have to learn how to overcome. It's just what it is. Adversity is a sign you're anointed for it. Ooh, Jesus. Hallelujah. Amen. He said, the consistency is going to determine what you see in this next season. The consistency is going to determine what you see in this next season. I told y'all I'm in a transitional season. I'm in a transition season. I'm in a season of growth. I'm in a season of being still, of trusting God. My consistency and the things that I do and the things that I say I'm going to get done is going to show me what my next season looks like. Am I going to be consistent or am I going to fall short? Am I going to be consistent or am I going to, oh, I'm tired, I don't want to post today. Oh, I don't want to record today. Oh, I am behind and now this, that, and another. Oh, nobody liked this, let me take it down. No. Oh, nobody came to the class, I don't want to do it next year. I'm going to continue this year and I'm going to continue next year because at some point in time, when I look back at this video, I'm going to see, baby, you were consistent. And that's why you have a packed class. And that's why you have all the support that you have because you believed in you like God believed in you and God made it happen. Period. My next season, woo! Y'all not ready for my next season? I'm not ready for my next season. God is ready for my next season because he's preparing me for my next season. But the rest of us, we need to take a seat. Literally. Next point. Well, this is still under standing vigilance. Obey what God says, even when you're standing in the opposite. If God has told you to do something, you need to do it. Even when it looks like you are in the exact opposite position. Even when it does not make sense. Even when it looks like, God, I can't. Even when it looks like, God, how? Even when it looks like, God, I don't understand how we're going to make this work. Do it. Do what God told you to do. Live in what God told you to live in. Stand in what God has for you because what is coming next, this is preparing you for that. What you are going through now is preparing you for future endeavors. It might not be the next. It might be the next. It might be after that. It might be something after that. Everything that you are going through is preparing you for something else. Even if it's bad, even if you hate it, even if you don't want to do it, you don't want to go through it. Literally, there's a lot of things that we're going to have to go through and a lot of things that are not going to look like they don't look like they're working out. It doesn't look like God's there. It doesn't look like he's showing up for me. It doesn't look like he has my back. It doesn't look like he hears me and what I'm asking him for. It doesn't look like my prayers are paying off. It doesn't look like I'm going to get what I'm asking him for. Obey what God said, even when you're standing in the opposite. Because if you have to understand to obey, you'll live in disobedience. Okay? Y'all hear him when he said that, honey. If you have to understand to obey, you'll live in disobedience. And it's really ironic because I was watching Transformation Church today, this Sunday, live. I was watching it, and a whole different pastor, Pastor Darius somebody. I'm going to link that one below too, truthfully. But he was literally kind of discussing that today and just talking about how there are so many examples in the Bible, and that's why I got to get my Bible and start reading. But anyways, there are so many examples in the Bible of just different things that we're going through in human life that we've seen it all. It's all been seen. It's all been done. Whether we know it or not, that's the kicker, right? But anyways, he was talking about that today in church, and he was discussing how, I wish I remember, but the particular person from the Bible who he was talking about how that person never got an answer. Now, we know how what he went through before worked out in the end because we got the backstory. Like, we see the whole storyline. But in his actual situation in his life, basically, God never told him why he did what he did. God never told him why. You will not always have a why. You will not always have a why. Actually, hold on real quick because I'm going to get the book that I even wrote. I was taking notes, so let me see. I wrote down. Sometimes you'll go through so much and God will not tell you why. God will supply all of your needs. He said that he said that for him, he is one of those people, like, he likes to have the answers. He wants to know why. Like, if you could just tell me why, if you could just tell me why. So he was talking to God and he was like, you know, like, tell me why. And God was basically like, do you believe that I supply all your needs? And he's like, well, yeah. And God's like, if you needed an explanation on why, I would have gave it to you. He said, you prefer an explanation. You do not need one. You prefer to know why things didn't work out. You prefer to know why things didn't go the way you would have liked them. You prefer to know why you're going through back to back heartbreak. You prefer to know why your life looks like it's on a downward spiral. But do you need to know? What he said was that God basically told him there was no explanation that would have satisfied you. You still would have had, like, there was nothing that God could have said, like, oh, well, this is why. And you wouldn't have been like, oh, well, did we have to do it that way? We could have done it a different way. You would not have been satisfied. Whatever the reasoning was behind it, you would have still been like, oh, well, but look, but wait, but ain't no buts, because you don't know why. Move on. Instead of obsessing about what you do not know, lean into what you do know. You know that God said that he'll never leave you. You know that God said it won't be easy. He never said it was going to be easy. But he always said it was going to be worth it. He always said he was going to have your back. He always said he would fight your battles. He always said he had the answers. He always said he would wipe your tears. You don't know why you cry every freaking night. You don't know why you're crying all the time, why you're so sad, but you know that God's going to wipe your tears away. That's what you do know. Lean into what you do know. Why you so worried about what you do not know? Woo! I am talking to myself. Am I talking to anybody else? Put it in the comments. Anywho, next, in order to launch in victory, you must submit to vast. You must submit to vast. So anything that you envision for yourself, what God wants for you, is bigger than you could even imagine. Anything you want for yourself, his plan is way bigger. You think it's small. You think it's small. Look, you think it's small. He's thinking big. So, submit to vast. I put trust in all caps. If you don't submit to vast, you don't trust what God has planned for you. He said to start saying, I put it in quotes, he said, I start saying, I'm well able. The things that you're like, no, that's not possible. How could I? I'm well able. I'm well able. I'm well able. I'm very capable of doing what I can do that. Yeah, I can do that. Yes, I will do that. Yes, I am capable. I'm well able. Well able. Humble yourself. And I put, I trust you, God. He said, he was in the sermon and he was saying, I want everybody to say, I trust you, God. Wrote it down. I trust you, God. That's important too, right? Another thing, you must have identity. You have to be secure in your value. Get a new expectation. How many people show up has nothing to do with who God called me to be. How many people show up has nothing to do. Ooh, when I watch this back, the way I'm staring in the camera. KaRena. How many people show up has nothing to do with who God has called me to be. How many people support me? How many people like my posts? How many people share my posts? How many people comment on my posts? How many people spread the word? How many people genuinely care and support what I want to do, what my vision is, has nothing to do with the one person who can make it happen. with the one person who will always support me, with the one person who will have my back, with the one person who was talking about me in rooms that I have not even heard of before, with the one person who's talking about me in a city I never thought I was gonna move to, the one person, the one person, the one person, the one, the only person who matters. The only person who matters is God. If God says you could do it, you can do it. You need to believe what God told you. You need to believe what God put inside of you. You need to believe that you are capable, that you are good enough, that you are talented enough, that you do have enough ability to do what God said you are going to do. You're going to do it. You think you're not going to do it. You're going to do it. When you're going to do it, who knows? Might take you more time, but you're going to do it because he said you're going to do it. Your worth is not attached to your work. Your worth is not attached to your work. You are loved if nobody likes it. You are still loved. God still loves you. God still chose you. God still cares about you. The problem is that we be too busy worried about regular people. We're worried about wanting to be liked by people who don't like themselves. Yeah, that's actually what it is. Yeah. A lot of people need to do their own self-work. A lot of people need to look inward. They're so busy worried about... No, I'm sorry. Who cares about what they're worried about? You're so busy worried about what they're worried about. If they like you, if they accept you, they don't like themselves. They don't accept themselves. They don't trust themselves. How could they really like you? How? How could they really like you when they don't even like themselves? We are way too busy worried about outsiders. Outsiders who literally, I will never ever truly find happiness if my worth, if my value, if my work is dependent on if other people like it. What? On if other people like me. Now there's a difference between actually, being a good person and being a bad person. Like that's not what we talking about. That's not what we talking about. Come on now, be for real. Be for real. But I'm saying you will never get anywhere if all of your validation, if all of your value comes from other people. I'm sorry, but it's not going to work. It is just not going to work. It's just not going to work. So yeah, you're loved if nobody likes it. If nobody understands, you're still chosen by God. If your mom doesn't see your dream, if your dad doesn't see your dream, your sister doesn't see your dream, your cousin thinks you're crazy, your ex-boyfriend or current boyfriend or next boyfriend doesn't support your vision, your best friend's like, girl, I mean, yeah, you can, but like, are you sure you want to go that big? Maybe we should start smaller. Irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Unfortunately, I hate to break it to irrelevant. They're irrelevant. If nobody understands your vision, if nobody sees what you see, you are still chosen by God. He sees your vision because he gave you the vision to see. He sees who you're going to be. Other people don't have to see who you're going to be. Let them sit back and sleep. Let them sit back and sleep. I am preaching to myself. Let them sit back and sleep on you. Let them sleep. Take a little nappy nap. Do what you got to do, baby. Take your little 2-hour nap. Do that. Because when I come back, because I've been working. I've been consistent. I've been believing in myself. I've been trusting in God. I've been doing what I'm supposed to do. I've been being obedient. So when I come back from your little nap, I'm going to be a whole different person. And you're going to be, what the, hold on, because I thought, remember when you said, yeah. Remember when you said? Remember you to remember? I remember you not remembering. But anyways, God and I been working. God and I been getting shit together. We've been getting stuff done. Okay? Don't worry about if other people don't see your vision, if other people don't see your plan, if other people don't see your purpose, if other people don't see your passion, if other people don't see your potential. Then they don't see it. That doesn't mean you don't do it because they don't see it. And realistically, how they gonna see it if you don't do it? Not that it really matters what they see, but how they gonna see it if you don't want to do it because they don't see it? Then nobody gonna see it. You ain't gonna see it either. You ain't gonna see it either. You're not gonna see what God has for you because you worried about the fact that other people don't believe in you. Fuck them. Yeah. And last, but certainly not least, in order to launch in victory, you must sustain velocity. You need the power of the Holy Spirit. Obviously, God is not on this earth. Jesus is not on this earth. They have left us with the Holy Spirit. Fill me, God. Fill me, God, with the Holy Spirit. Ooh, those times you're like, oh, something told me that something wasn't right. Something told me not to do it. Something told me not to go. Something told me wait 10 more minutes. Something told me to go. Something told me to do it. Something told me it would work out. They're talking to you. They're talking to you. You need to listen. You need to pay attention. You need to open your ears to the things that you're actually supposed to be hearing. Okay? Hopefully y'all not hearing all that stuff going on outside because the neighbors' dogs are literally the most irritating animals. But anyways, that's not relevant. The point is, the last thing you need to do is sustain velocity. You need the power of the Holy Spirit. Get into it. Pray about it. Talk to God. Ask him for the things that you want, the things that you need. Ask him for the things he wants from you. Ask him for the things he wants from you so that you can be obedient. Ask him for the things that he wants for you so that you can be praying for the right things. Because some of the things that you want, God doesn't want for you. They're not your want. They're your wants. They're not God's wants for you. They're your wants for you. And if you're living for God, you're not living for your wants. You're living for his wants, what he wants for you. All that being said, that was just one transformational day. And it was the beginning of a beautiful start. A lot of times we're trying to get to a place where we can trust God less. That's not a thing. In this life, we will always have to trust God more. We'll always have to trust him more. It's not going to get easier. There'll never be a situation where it's like, oh, I don't need God in this moment. You always need him. You always need him to show up for you. You always need him by your side. You always need him covering your back, your front, your side. You always need him because nobody is fighting for you like he is. You're not even, I am not even fighting for me the way God is fighting for me. When I don't show up for myself, guess who does? God shows up for me. When I don't believe in myself, guess who does? God believes in me. There will never be a time where I need him less. I will always need him more. Hallelujah. Yes, Jesus. Ooh, I wish I was joking, but I'm not. I don't wish I was joking. Why would I wish I was joking? I'm not joking. I'm very serious. I hope you felt this in your spirit. I'm so for real. I'm so for real. I hope that if you are going through something right now, that you talk to him about it. I hope that if you're going through something right now, you pray to him about it. Tell him what you're going through. Tell him what you're experiencing. Tell him how you feel. Tell him how you think he's not showing up for you. Tell him that you appreciate him for creating the world, for creating you, for creating the sky, for having a literal plan for everything from the beginning to the end. So I pray that you pray to him through the good and the bad, through the happy and the sad. I pray that if you want a relationship with him, you do the work to create one because he's there. And he's waiting, and he loves you, and he wants the best for you. He doesn't want you to suffer. You're suffering because you're not doing the things you're supposed to be doing. Life does not just hate you and only you, and you're just the only person. You're not the only person struggling. You're not the only person going through something. You're not the only person who feels like, when will my next break come? When will I be able to breathe? When will I just be happy? You're not the only person. And honestly, get into communities. You know what I mean? Create one if you have to. But there are people out here who feel how you feel. And I'm not necessarily saying you should wallow with them, but know that you're not alone and that these people can help you and you can help them and y'all can encourage each other. But while you do that, remember that there is nobody on this earth who is going to love you, care for you, show up for you, support you, be with you, fight for you like God. With that being said, let's wrap this thing up, okay? If you've made it this far in the video, I thank you so much for watching. I definitely hope that you got something from this. I definitely hope that whatever you're going through, that maybe this could have been something that you needed to hear, something that you didn't want to hear, but like, you're happy that you did hear. You're happy that you didn't skip over this one. You're happy that you did stay to the end of this one. Whatever it is, I hope that God is using me to work for him. And with that being said, definitely check out some of my other videos. You might like those as well. You probably will. If you do, definitely subscribe to my channel. Turn on that bell notification so you're notified every time I post another video. As always, I thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.